Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, my task is to explain about the establishment, purpose, and functions of the interim administration, as well as the tasks so far performed by the administration. Before I proceed to the details, please allow me to give you a brief overview of the current situation in Tigray region, some even historical background on how we reach at the current situation at national level, also at regional level. As you know, the people of Tigray have a rich history and great social values and known for their non-negotiable Ethiopian identity. Historically, the people of Tigray have made significant contribution to the formation and existence of Ethiopia as a nation, as well as the formation of the state. In general, it's hard to imagine Ethiopia without the people of Tigray, the Tigray people without Ethiopia. This is the historical fact. That is a fact that explains the people of Tigray. Prior to 1991, the people of Tigray have paid great sacrifices with other Ethiopian brothers and sisters during the 17 armed struggle to ensure national equality, democracy, justice, development, equitable access, and human rights in Ethiopia. However, since the TPLF regime came to power in the Tigray regional state in 1991-92, the values of the people such as heroism, patriotism, solidarity, hospitality, respect for the rule of law, accountability, and the democratic and human rights, equality, equitable benefits, and national unity guaranteed by the Constitution are being eroded from time to time, and the people have been subjected to severe abductions and harassment over the past years. At national level, the TPLF regime has also played its part in destabilizing the political environment, undermining justice and democracy, promoting corruption, human rights violations, and the lack of good governance and equitable access while it was leading the country as a member of the APRDF in the past years. As a result, the people's trust on the TPLF regime has been eroded from time to time, and there were frequent protests and numerous questions of the people about to bring about change in the country, as the repeated protests and numerous questions of the people could not be answered in the normal course of the TPLF regime. The demand for change reached its peak in March 2018, and the APRDF regime went through a merger by comprising the three member organizations except TPLF and the five so-called partners to form a coalition party in 2012 under the name of Prosperity Party. However, the TPLF regime rejected the merger, though it was involved in the process. Over the past 2.5 years, the TPLF has been working to destabilize the country, committing many acts that threaten the unity of the people and the sovereignty and existence of the country. In particular, it has been training many youth and underage children in Tigray in the name of special forces and the militias to destabilize the country. And it has been working hard to create mistrust and hatred among the people of Ethiopia. It also held an illegal election in violation of the decision of the National Electoral Board on the sixth national election, which was legally extended due to COVID-19. In the end, the TPLF regime has been trying to create chaos in the country by not recognizing the federal government. It is known that the federal government has been constantly calling for peace so as not to get into conflict in the country and to respect the dignity of the people of Tigray. However, In the evening of November 3, 2020, the illegal TPLF group that ruled the Tigray region carried out a vicious and shameful attack on the heroic Northern Defense Force in the region. This act is unacceptable, it's illegal, it is inhuman. The federal government has been forced to take steps to prevent and enforce the law. The TPLF has plunged the Tigray people into a pointless conflict to satisfy the interests of a few groups in the region. This conflict is not to bring development and peace to the people of Tigray, but to cause the people to lose their children again and fall into extreme poverty and hunger, erode their national dignity and isolate themselves from their Ethiopian brothers and sisters. The military operation that is undertaken in the region is not a war with Tigray people. Rather, it is a law enforcement measure by the federal government. Following this operation, the decision of the federal government to undertake this law enforcement operation, the House of Federation has decided to establish an interim administration in the state so as to not create administrative vacuum in the region. In brief, the mandate of the interim government includes, number one, reorganizing the governance structure of the region, because, as you know, the TPLF regime has conducted an illegal election, and this election is not recognized by the House of Federation. Therefore, there will not be a recognized regional council. Also, there will not be a recognized executive organ at regional level. So the main mandate of the interim administration will be to reorganize the regional executive organ and appoint, executive bodies. And also, it will also appoint executive bodies at zonal levels. However, the Warada councils and Kabila councils continue to operate, because these are the main, organs that provide service, justice, and also conduct development activities. The next is, the other task of this interim administration will be to ensure law and order in the region. This is very important. To ensure, the implementation of all the rights and the rights of the people in the region. So ensuring law and order is one of the major tasks of the administration. The other is facilitating the conduct of the 6th national election in the region in accordance with applicable law of the National Electoral Board. As you know, the Tigray people has been hostage of this TPLF regime for many years. There has never been an election that is participatory, democratic, transparent, and trustful. So the task of this interim administration will be to create a conducive environment so as to make sure the 6th national election is conducted as per the National Electoral Board. So hopefully this will be the first time for the Tigrayan people to freely select their leaders. The other is, it will also approve the plan and budget of the region. Then it will also perform other activities provided by the federal government. These are briefly the responsibilities and tasks provided to this interim government. Based on these responsibilities, the interim government has been working to craft a draft charter on how to operate or to implement these responsibilities and tasks successfully. So in this chart, we try to make clear, number one, in reorganizing the organizational structure of this executive organ, we have set criteria. We have to make a shift from the previous mistakes in the region. Everything will be conducted in consultation with the people. Even in appointing executive organs, in planning, and other activities, or in peace and security. So we make clear that the participation of the people is very important. The other is ensuring peace, stability, and security in the region. This is also another priority area. Without peace and stability, this interim administration cannot be successful. So we'll give due priority to this area because we will work in this regard with all government institutions and other stakeholders, especially with the state of emergency task force. We'll try to ensure peace and stability. In this relation, as you know, due to this law enforcement operation, there are some citizens that are displaced. So the most important area will be the rehabilitation work. We'll conduct the rehabilitation activities in cooperation with, again, with federal organizations, government organizations, and humanitarian agencies. So the humanitarian activities will be one of our tasks. The other is ensuring justice and good governance is another area. As you can imagine, the Tigrayan people has been, I think, suffered a lot due to lack of justice and lack of good governance. So this interim administration will create conducive condition to change this problem. The other is to ensure that the social services, I think, will function properly, because it's obvious that the social services are not functioning. So our task is to resume the functioning of these social services, education, health, and so forth, again, in collaboration with federal government, sector ministries, and other stakeholders. The next is, especially in this area, we'll try to create, especially an opportunity, especially in widening the political space in the region, especially by involving all political parties operating in the region. Because the political space in the region has been very narrow. So we'll open up this. We'll invite all concerned political parties, groups or individuals to operate by respecting the rule of law. So this will help us to, I think, to strengthen the democratization process in the region, because lack of democracy and narrow political space has been a challenge in the region. So we'll work together with these political parties in the process. In this process also, we'll try to restore peace and stability with neighboring regions in Eritrea. There are some, mistrust and conflicts, so our task is to restore peace and stability within Tigray as well as with neighboring regions and the Eritrean government. That's also very important. In this regard, We'll also try to look into citizens that are in custody because of their political perception. So we'll form a task force and investigate the case. Any individual who is in custody, in prison, will be released if it is the cause is political. This is another agenda. Finally, we'll have more work, especially in the communication and the public relations work, because, as you know, the people of Tigray has been very close. The attachment is very strong for the long for 50 or 40 years. So to separate the people from this party, we need to conduct more communication and public relations work, because the people should understand the reality, what is actually happening in the country. Because over the past 2.5 years, as you have witnessed, the change was, I think, going well. Especially the political space was very widened at national level. The democratized process already started very good, and it's a good process. But in Tigray, that's not the case. So the Tigrayan people should also, I think, get this opportunity. Finally, already to repeat, our area focus is the 6th national election, and again we'll facilitate for its successful implementation as per the schedule and direction of the National Electoral Board. Thank you so much.